It is a dangerous world we live in today. With the advent of such means of travel as aeroplanes and subways, it is possible, within reason, for any one person, or creature, to travel from any location in the world to any other. What's the danger in that, you ask? I'll tell you. Vampires. We all know them. We all fear them. We all understand how to protect ourselves from them. Or do we? Where our ancestors had only to worry about protecting themselves from those vampires residing in the local area, with modern innovations, any type of vampire from all across the globe could be lurking in your neighborhood. No longer is it enough to protect ourselves from the local variety, which is something we, of course, all make sure to do in our day-to-day lives. I mean, I know I do. No, we must be educated in protection against any and all forms of vampire, which might come our way. But fear not, dear viewers, I, the curator, am here to help. First things first, just how many types of vampires are there in the world, like in total, not just kind of... I just want to clarify, I know I haven't said it enough that I'm talking about the world in total and like all across the globe, so I just wanted to put it in there again if you missed it in the intro. Well, according to my research, there are about 64. Maybe there might be a list here of them. I don't know, it'll depend on if I can figure out how to do editing at all, just like in general. However, the category of vampire is a tricky one in that many overlap with spirits, demons, ghouls, and lycanthropes, especially in some of the like Slavic and like Eastern Europe mythos. The line between vampire and lycanthrope is very blurred. So I've tried here to solidify a collection of creatures which hold little overlap with those categories. Let's start with those that require no active protection against them at all, since they don't attack people, such as the chupacabra, which feeds on goats, as the name indicates, or the kasha, which eats only corpses, which actually makes it more of a ghoul. I'm not changing the list now. You also need not fear the cattle-eating ustrel, the ramanga, who lives and works peacefully with humans, or the dampir, who are only part vampire and actually tend to make a career out of hunting their bloodthirsty brethren. For the more traditional vampires, there are, of course, the basic methods of protection: the usage of garlic, steel or iron, mirrors, crosses and rosaries, holy water, and prayer. The mere presence of garlic may be enough to ward off some creatures of the night, but for full safety, you should sew clothes of it into your... I don't know if that picked up. Someone just like rat-a-tap-tapping on the wall there. But you should sew, as I was saying, you should sew clothes of it into your clothing, as that is... That's to keep the bruxa away. That's a Portuguese one, so... And rub it into your armpits as well, as that repels the aswang. Items of steel and iron will ward off the alp, and although it's a common belief that vampires can't see their own reflection in mirrors, some can, and are real scared of it. This being the Jiangshi and the Mara. I am going to apologize now if I have completely butchered any of the pronunciation of these vampiric titles and words. I'm not a linguistics major. I don't know a lot of... I've only ever studied Spanish and like Italian. I'm trying my hardest, is what I'm trying to get at. Like I've come here with all of this work and preparation done to teach you about how to protect yourself from the very, very, very real threat of vampires. So I think you should honestly cut me some slack. And if I really mispronounce something, please tell me in the comments. Crosses and rosaries are, of course, hated by many vampires, including the mulo, In a similarly religious vein, holy water can be used against the tlaquiques. And prayer will deter the El Ghul, as well as the Jarakakas. So, get on your fucking Hail Marys. Man. These common preventatives do not ward off all vampires, though. To keep the Gayal away, you must wear a coin. I thought I maybe had like a penny on hand. Do I not? I thought I did. Wow. Bit over. Not Bitcoin. That actually attracts vampires. That is something that they write about in the ancient scripture. If you do have Bitcoin in your possession, the vampires will flock to you and murder you, like horrifically, horrendously. Like it'll be a real bloodbath, and you'll be conscious through all of it. So, don't, partake in cryptocurrency for your own safety against vampires. I could end the video here, honestly, because that covers all the bases, right? Just don't. Just don't invest in crypto. Did I finish talking about the coin strung around your neck? I don't think I did. So to keep the Gayal away, you string a coin around your neck. It's as a necklace, and it's that keeps it away. To protect your home, you should maintain a supply of rice, sand, and seeds. Normal things to have in bulk, with which to scatter by your door to keep out the Azeman and the Luguru. It is also important to affix a screen on the inside of your doorway. That's generally a sort of important thing to do to doors leading outside. You don't want to let the mosquitoes in. But also the Kue, who can move only in a straight line, will not be able to maneuver around it if you put a screen on the inside of the door. So that's another reason. Also, surrounding your home with thistles and thorns will make it impossible for the Penangalan to enter without causing itself serious damage, as it tends to just kind of float around as a head with all of its, important organs hanging out of it. That's what it means to let it all hang out. Hit me up. Dab me up. You're dead. You can also help out your entire community / college campus by erecting a Stonehenge-esque structure, the only method of warding off the Corel. Your neighbors will thank you, as they will when you adopt a pet wolf for defense purposes, should a Lugat swing by. It's the only way. Also, don't get it from a breeder, because that's bad. There's so many stray dogs. I know I said wolf, but honestly, dogs are probably close enough in, the modern world. Don't take, hey, I'm not a vampire expert or anything. Don't take what I'm saying at full truth and face value. If you adopt a corgi and a Lugat comes by and the corgi does not ward off the Lugat and you die a horrible and painful death, then you cannot sue me. Or I guess you would be dead. So you wouldn't be able to sue me anyway. So I guess the problem just kind of solved itself, actually. Yeah, get a corgi to fight against a Lugat. Fuck it. We ball. The Jiangshi would be a good, basketball player. Would it? I feel like there's a lot of hopping, and it's a hopping vampire. And there's a lot of, I feel like, people hop when you shoot a hoop. I haven't played basketball since fucking, middle school. But I think that there's hopping involved. So maybe, maybe we could start, an initiative for that, rehabilitating vampires, to make them less angry at people and bloodthirsty. So for, Jiangshi, it could be, a hopping, or maybe give them pogo sticks. Something to direct their, energy and, passion towards, other than the mauling and maiming of mortals. Some vampires don't survive solely off of human blood, but resort only to this when they run out of other food. Or feces, in the case of the Ubor. So leaving food outside should appease these creatures and won't attract anything else. I've never heard of raccoons or possums, and if you're going to try to explain them to me, I'll simply tell you that you're wrong. They've never existed, because I've never seen one. Obviously, despite the fact that I've never seen a vampire, those do exist because there's a heavy documentation of them from millennia. I don't think this is a funny bit. I don't know if any of the bits I've done so far have been funny. Let's just keep the tape. Let's just keep going. There are also certain types of food and drink that you, yes you, dear viewer, can consume to keep vampires away from you. Anti-vampire meals. That's what they should be starting at serving at the dining halls. And what are those anti-vampire meals, you ask? Well, if you're of legal drinking age, wine will keep the strigoi at bay. So that's fun. That's a great start to this segment, right? If you're not of legal drinking age, which could be a problem, because there are a lot of people, I'm realizing, in the world who are not of legal drinking age, and maybe don't want to do something illegal. I'm not, because I'm not inciting any illegal activity. Don't drink unless you're of legal drinking age. However, modern times call for modern measures, and now we have more drinking restrictions, so maybe try these wine-flavored chips. They actually do. They taste, it's fucked up. They taste like wine. It's fucking weird. And then the next course in this vampire warding meal, which I drafted a petition. I drafted a petition that I'm going to be sending to the head of the school soon. Every school, every college, every place in the world, to make sure that everyone's eating a vampire aversive diet. So we've got wine, right? And blood bread. Bread that is made with the blood of a vampire. Of specifically the upior. Or if you're a vegetarian, you can eat dirt off its grave. Anything for PETA. Anything for PETA. PETA? PETA? The upior is here. Ew. In the case of many other vampires, though, all you can do is avoid incurring their wrath. Like God. Thus, here is a list of what not to do. Or else put yourself in mortal danger. I don't know what this move is. Okay. Don't go to crossroads or graveyards at night. These are the dwelling places of the Chivateto and the Masan, respectively. Don't go into the woods. Ever. There could be a Rakshasa. Or if it's a Thursday and a Sanbosan. Don't sew or weave at night, as I know people love to do, because a passing Varkolaki could attach to your thread and chase after you on that thread, like a little sort of game of tug-a-rope. Tug. That's not what it's called. Tug of war. Tug-a-rope. You know, tug-a-rope. That's what they play in Squid Games. Hey guys, I know it's called Squid Game. I had a professor last semester call it Squid Games, and no one really responded. Like, no one reacted, so I kind of, for the duration of that class, gaslit myself into being like, oh, maybe it is actually called Squid Games. It's not. It's, as far as I know. If someone knocks at your door, wait until the second knock to respond. If it is the Vrykolakas, it will grow impatient when you don't respond the first time and move on to another victim. Don't look at impure corpses. It could be an Ekimu. I made my apology. Go back to the part of the video where I apologized, okay? I'll put a timestamp. Or I won't. I probably won't. Avoid making wishes at night without invoking God's protection, which you should be doing already. Since a Baobanshi, that's totally fucked up. That's definitely not how you say that, but it's Welsh. So, you know, there's a lot going on with them. Anyway, that one, it could twist your words and use the godless prayer against you. Because it's been known to do that in several very well documented occasions, actually. In fact, to just avoid all this entirely, just stay silent. Because that was the only thing I could find in my research to protect against the Vitala. Maybe monks had it right. I don't know. But while you're at it, avoid all eye contact, lest you be on the receiving end of the Erotica's evil eye. And most importantly, don't be seduced by women. It could be a Lamia, or a Lenhelmshi, or a Mormo, or a Rakshasi, or a Vodolak, or a Zmiu. Yeah, it could be that. So, just don't do it. Delete Tinder. I'm sure they've learned how to use that by now. It's been a million years since the Tinder was invented. I don't care if she has W Riz. She could be a bloodthirsty creature of the night. Remember? You're not an incel if you're just protecting against vampires. Put that on a fucking t-shirt. That'll be my first merch. Because I'll absolutely gonna garner enough fans with these videos to necessitate a merch line, and that's when it's gonna be. You're not an incel, you're just staying safe from vampires. That's what safe sex is about, actually. It's not about unplanned pregnancies or STIs or anything like that. It's about vampires. Everything is about vampires. Are you not paying attention? Wake up, sheeple! I got a little excited there. Let's bring it back down. This ends our list on how to protect against vampires. But curator, you say there are only 39 types of vampires listed here that you have just listed in your list of protection. You said there were 64 varieties. What about the other 25? Well, dear viewer, I regret to inform you that there is no method of protection against the remaining 25. If you encounter one of these vampire, you have to kill it. These warding methods I've told you, they are only the beginning, but they should aid you in your fight against the undead until you learn how to craft their demises. In my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe you could consider liking, or commenting to keep my morale up. Subscribe even. The world is your oyster. Except for the vampire parts, because they'll get you. They'll fucking get you. Well, not you specifically, but it may be. You always think it won't happen, it's not gonna happen to me. That's a weird note to end this on. I'll come up with a cool, exit thing at some other point. For now, what if I roll away? No, I need to be in center. I'm a Leo. I can't leave the spotlight.